What is up, guys? Zach Ginn. In today's video, I'm going to show you actually how to pull free fire damage properties, and I'm also going to show you how to wholesale fire damage houses for big wholesaling real estate profits. Before we get into it, before I actually share this information, I need you to do me a quick favor. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to get more free information from me so I can help you make $100,000 per year in profit in real estate wholesaling absolutely for free. No guru, no courses, no guru sales tactics. I legitimately want to help you make money in real estate wholesaling absolutely for free. So could you imagine a lead source in real estate wholesaling and a type of lead in real estate wholesaling where you don't have to compete with wholesalers on a regular basis? You could be the first or possibly even the second contact of a motivated seller. Now, if you're in a rural part of the country, you're like, that's my average code violation list. But for someone in like Phoenix, Arizona, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, or Miami, you might be like, wait, I can be the first person to talk to a seller on a motivated lead? How is this even possible? And really one of the best ways to do it is in fire damage properties. So fire damage property is basically when, like the definition, a property catches on fire and it burns up. And what do we do here? So the situation with a fire damage property is the property catches on fire. Most of the time the house is completely shot and they just got to gut the whole thing and really just destroy it and build a new house on there. And honestly, from there, the seller doesn't even want to sell the property. They get their insurance check and they're happy. So where does us wholesalers come into play here to make money on this deal? So the way us real estate wholesalers can make money on this is, the cool part is the seller has no attachment to the house anymore. So let's say it's a $200,000 house that burnt to the ground. Unfortunately, the house burned down. No one got hurt. The family was away on vacation and everything was perfect. What can we do here to make money? So the cool part is most likely the motivated seller in this situation would actually get a check from the insurance company for $200,000. So they can go buy a new house, start from scratch, and they're happy. But did you know that they still have to own that land? That's actually a problem for them. Most of the time, no one wants to go through the whole building process. Right now, building is very hard. It's a lot of labor. The labor market is very tight and the cost of plywood is just skyrocketing. So why would a motivated seller want to build, and it's probably cost them even more money to just clear it out and deal with the actual house when they got to get a house to live in? They don't have 6 to 7 months to wait on building a house to put their families in. So it's probably not a viable solution to build a new house on top of that specific land. So what are they going to do with that land? Well, they got that $200,000 check in the mail, so they don't have to deal with it. So us real estate wholesalers are going to be the first person of contact to that motivated seller, and we're actually going to have a conversation with them and actually wholesale this for a profit. And these are one of the best deals you could possibly get because not a lot of wholesalers understand this, and not a lot of wholesalers actually understand how to pull these lists absolutely for free. And that's what we're going to do here in this video. So that's the fire damage of like a complete burn down. Now, I'm in Florida. A lot of houses in Florida are actually concrete block. They're actually not built with wood. So that means they're a lot more fire resistant. So if you know like a school or elementary or middle school, why they're always concrete block and never wood frame, it doesn't really make a lot of sense when it comes to the actual cost wise. They do that is because a concrete block structure, if they unfortunately would catch on fire, most of it will stay the same and it really wouldn't burn down. And that's pretty safe and it's a very smart way why schools do that. But the reason why they do that is because it's fire resistant. So a lot of these houses in Florida are resistant to hurricanes. That's why they're concrete block, but they're more or less fire resistant. Now the roofs catch on fire, a lot of stuff inside of it. The sheetrock and all that stuff needs to be redone, but they're partially fire burnt. Or let's say there's a microwave incident on a fire damaged property and, on a wood frame house and only got partially fire damaged. This is where we can just have the motivated seller get their insurance check for maybe not the entire house, but part of it. And then we can put it under contract for a very low price, maybe 20 to 30K, and sell it to a builder or a huge renovated guy who wants to renovate the whole thing, and we can make really good profits on that one too. So we could also do partially fire damaged properties. So there's a lot of profit to be done here on fire damaged houses. So you might be screaming at me like, Zach, okay, we get it. I'm excited about fire damaged properties, but how do I find this list? Like, how do I find these things for free? Now, there's two ways to actually find these lists absolutely for free for your real estate wholesaling business. And my favorite way possible, it's not that complicated. All you got to do is call your local fire department of your county or city. They're probably by county where you live. And what I want you to do is actually call them and ask if you can get a list of all the fire damage properties in the past month, 2 or 3 months. You might get the people at the fire department fighting with you on this, but really it is 100% your right to have this information as a tax-paying citizen. And the fire department is not a private corporation. It's literally a government entity. So they have to give you this information. If you have to, you can always threaten to file a FOIA Act, a Freedom of Information Act to get this information. But you as a taxpaying citizen are entitled to this information, like a code violation or probates. You're entitled to know about the property that went on fire. So you can get that list to you, Excel, maybe they actually have to list it to you through an email. There's so many different ways to do it, but you can actually call and get it to you. You don't actually have to walk in to the fire department and actually ask for it. You can do it over the phone or through email. So that's a really good way to do it. If you're a virtual wholesaler, I also love it too, because you can call any city in the United States and pull this list. So if I literally just wanted to SMS text blast or cold call or do a direct mail piece of all the fire damage properties in, let's say, the state of Florida, I'm able to do it. So it's pretty cool. It's actually really awesome. And it's really a niche in real estate wholesaling I don't think a lot of people really are getting into. Another way to do this, if you don't want to go contact the fire department, is look at your local cities or county fire department Facebook pages. And usually they'll show a picture of the property and they'll say, on the 12th, on the 1200 block of Southwest Main Street here in St. Louis, Missouri, there was a fire and we protected it and everything was all good. What you can do there is look at 1200 block, do a Google search there through the picture and see which one was actually fire damage. You can actually get the information faster if you got something a month old. So if you want to get a fire damage property as soon as possible, like the day after the thing went on fire, the fire department usually likes to post that for a good PR. So that's another quick tip I can do to get those free fire damage properties. Now, you might think to yourself, Zach, how do I know what the ARV or the comps for a fire damage property is? And this is a pretty important one. So you really don't know too much about the ARV or repairs on a fire damage property before you can actually see it. So the way I'd recommend it is you get the property under contract for the lowest price you can and then try to find a cash buyer for it. As a general rule of thumb, try to go after what the land is worth and then just try to get a severe discount on that, considering someone's got to clear all that stuff out. That's the best advice I can give you. So if a quarter acre lot is worth $20,000 where you're at, and a cash buyer is willing to pay $15,000 for a quarter acre lot, and they want to give you $10,000 for that fire damage property with the lot, you know you can make at least some profit on that one. So that's what I would kind of do with the ARV repairs. Now, if it's partially fire damaged, it's going to be very hard for you to do repairs. What I do recommend, again, is get the thing under contract or make a really rough assessment on the repairs on there. You can call a lot of contractors and ask them how much a repair costs for a fire damage property, a partial fire damage property. Now remember, the most common places of a fire is, first of all, in the kitchen, and second would be like their hairdryer left on. Most of the time it's a microwave fire or an oven fire. Those would probably be the ones. Now electrical fire or foul play, I can't really tell you how to deal with those too much because they're a lot more rare than the other ones, but really roughly get the ARV and repairs from there. I'd recommend you reverse engineer it and just really see how much your cash buyer is willing to pay for it. Now, when it comes to actually talking and actually contacting these motivated sellers, the way you want to do it is cold calling or SMS text blasting. The reason why I'm not telling you to go knock on their door or do a direct mail is if the house caught on fire, most likely with the carcinogens that is actually in those houses with the ash and things, people probably not going to live in that house. They're probably in a hotel or staying with a relative from there. So what I'd probably do is contact them where they're always at, which is their phone. The property might leave, but their phone number is going to stay the same for now. So I would recommend you go skip trace it. You can do truepeoplesearch.com for maybe 1 or 2 skip tracing. SMSZach.com is where I do my skip tracing and SMS text blasting. Those are the places where I'd probably do it. But overall, you need to have a lot of empathy with these sellers. It's very emotional and probably traumatic that they had to deal with a fire in their property. So make sure you take your time of understanding the seller, their situation, and why they'd be looking to actually sell the house. I'd probably also spend extra time talking about what they're trying to do and their future for themselves and really how you can be the best solution maker for them. So overall, to recap, what we want to do is go and call our fire department, ask them for the last month or two of fire damage properties. We want to skip trace that list. And then what we're going to do is either cold call that list or SMS text blast. The ad copy I would use for cold calling was just as simple as possible. Hey, is this Mr. John Smith? Hey, Mr. John Smith, this is Zach here. I was actually calling you about your house on 123 Main Street. I was seeing if you were looking to sell it. The reason why I said that and not, hey, Mr. John, I saw your property burnt to a crisp in a fire, and I was seeing if you wanted to sell it to me or have a cash offer on that thing. People are going to be very upset that you're targeting them just because their house went on fire. What I would do is just call out of the blue, like this is kind of random, and have the seller kind of contact you like, hey, it's kind of weird, but the house actually went on fire. I mean, would you even buy it? And then you talk about how, yes, I'd still buy houses for cash and even fire damage ones. And then you go from there, go in your pitch, meet them at the house or meet them where they're living there and get a contract and go from there. That is the killer ad copy. I would tell you, don't act like you're going after them. Don't act like you're going right after them just because it was a fire damage property. Act like it was sorted out of the blue, and fate kind of got you guys together on this one. So that is my recommendation on there. On SMS text blasting, it's the same thing. Ask them if they're the owner. They say yes, then reply back that you're actually looking to buy houses. Are they willing to sell theirs? From there, get the ad copy, get under contract, bring a cash buyer through, assign that contract to the cash buyer, get a nice, awesome payday at the end of it, profit and repeat. So that's it, guys. That is Zach in here today, showing you actually how to profit on fire damage houses. They're one of the best ones out there. I see people doing $70,000, $80,000 deals on fire damage properties, and people just doing 10 to 15,000. This is an awesome secret niche that I don't think a lot of people are doing. Hopefully here on the channel, I can actually bring this more to light. So I appreciate you guys watching this content. Remember, if you got any value out of it, smash that like button and subscribe. Thank you guys so much and have a great day.